Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. In the ongoing saga between Clayton Echard and Jane Doe, of course, former Bachelor, accused of being the father of somebody's unborn twins, she has since said she's no longer pregnant. Well, now the history is continuing to be not just rewritten, but also deleted, that being this article in The Sun, no longer existing. This article that was in response to a press release that Clayton's camp gave, saying that Jane Doe actually fraudulently changed aspects of an ultrasound to include a company that didn't actually provide her any sort of medical attention. So why is this important? I think it's pretty obvious why this is important. It is a win for Jane Doe. She, in a very long game, she won the inning, which is getting this story at least scrubbed from The Sun, which is very interesting since The Sun is the first story to, first news organization to report on this story in the first place. If The Sun never reports on it, we may never know about it, but we have stepped in the metaphorical dog shit known as the Jane Doe saga, and now we are dealing with the aftermath. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. I'll be live at noon today, and also don't forget the podcast. If you want the Fantasy Suite updates from The Bachelor, a Fantasy Suite recap, I discussed that on the morning podcast, Bachelor Rush Hour. You can go check that there. So yesterday, we had this, 2 weeks ago, I think let's go back. March 1st was the deposition. Following that deposition of Jane Doe, bombshell news came out from Clayton's side. Again, if she wants to argue what Clayton's saying, we can just wait for the exhibits to make it into the court case June 10th. But a bombshell fraud accusation. Bachelor Clayton Echard's ex-fling has admitted to fraud and forging pregnancy records after paternity test scandal. The woman was supposed to give birth in February. Well, this article right here, when you click on it, is gone. Sorry, page unavailable. Well, why not? What's going on? I mean, if you Google the page, Bachelor Clayton's ex-fling, which, by the way, some people want to be called Bachelor Clayton's stalker, has admitted to fraud and forging pregnancy records. Now, this is in quotes from the press release, although when you click on the article, bingo, bango, unavailable. And that always leads us to a conversation about why has it gone unavailable? What could possibly have happened? As you know, we speculated that the website article may be where the fetal DNA is. In the ether, maybe in a UFO spaceship, maybe a meteor kind of came by and just kind of scooped it up, kind of like carpool style, and then took it away. We don't know. But chances are, my guess is, Jane Doe, the litigious Linda that we call her, may have written a strongly worded letter, chat GPT style, to somebody at The Sun, and The Sun has already reached their budget for lawsuits from reckless magazine writings. Now, The Sun should be in hot water for initially sharing the article that accused Clayton of of all of that nonsense. That's what The Sun should be worried about, not getting the truth right. Because when you Google The Sun, the main article that pops up is the accusation against Clayton. Not a retraction, not an apology, not anything else, just the big old accusation against Clayton that he's a terrible father, he's not a mental health rights activist. She's scared of her unborn baby's safety, so she called the police. All those accusations are up. We can't read this article anymore. Wait, what's that? Oh, because we meticulously cover this case, the article still exists within my own YouTube video? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So anyway, here's the article. And I'll just play a clip of this. You guys kind of know what was said. Consistently, but maybe we have a different point of view. Clayton was accused of fathering the woman's unborn twins in 2023. We know that. The anonymous woman claims she had a one-night stand. Again, he says only blowjobs. He actively fought against the accusations in December. The woman said she was no longer pregnant, but no details were released. On Thursday, Reality Steve posted a statement on X, formerly known as Twitter, from Clayton that stated she was never pregnant. I broke the story! Now, we love Reality Steve, but where's a little credit? Right, so, of course, my big ego gets in the way. But you see the point that the article is taken down, and why? What's going to be going on next? They even maybe it's because they left comments. One person wrote, "I hope she gets jail time for this." Wow, good for Clayton. Now time to sue her for distress and harassment. A third said she deserves jail time and to pay all of Clayton's legal fees. Good for Clayton. Now I hope he sues her. So clearly, I guess they're afraid of sharing people's opinions. I don't understand. They were just sharing comments other people left. Like, what world do we live in? Before the confirmation in January, Clayton's ex-fling claimed she's no longer pregnant. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal. By the way, the U.S. Sun didn't exclusively reveal it. How garbage is it? I want them to repost this article, give proper credit, and also apologize to Clayton. Can we just do all of that stuff? So it goes on and on about how December 28th, the former Bachelor's ex-fling filed a motion to dismiss with prejudice. And it also shows that, maybe because they listed her as a 33-year-old podcast host from Scottsdale. Hey, guess what? I'll be in Scottsdale March 28th if you want to come to my stand-up comedy show. It'll probably be my last big stand-up comedy show before I become a father. So I'll probably take some time off and, of course, bond with my baby. Skin on skin, just baby and dad trying to talk sports and, whatever, maybe mow the lawn together. I don't know what we're going to do. I just can't wait. But either way, in the meantime, I will be there March 28th, and you can actually catch a Q&A during the show with Bachelor Clayton Echard. That's right. We'll have a Q&A. If you want to support me and or Clayton, come to the show. Heck, buy a ticket even if you don't want to come to the show. What do I care? If you buy a ticket and show me receipt of the ticket, I'll get you the video. Not a live stream, but a couple days later, we'll have the video for that show if you want it. Anyway, let's move it on. So we continue. Yeah, so they don't give identifying features of her. Not that there's a problem if they did. There's nothing left for this court to adjudicate, and this case should be dismissed, is what she argued. The petitioner further described her current state as not now pregnant. She initially said she expected to give birth to twins on February 14th. And of course, no explanation was given at the time as to what happened. Then later, she said she had still, a miscarriage, which she says she found out in November. So it's just banana land. And anyway, the fact that this article is gone, it's just wild out there. I want to read some of your thoughts regarding this deleting. So initially, 4 days ago, the Justice for Clayton subreddit posted, "The Sun picked it up." And now, as of yesterday, I can't believe they took it down. Stop silencing the truth. And I guess, they probably took it down because they look at it, they see that it already got the clicks, they've already made their ad revenue off of it, and they're like, I don't need to deal with their BS, which is kind of why I took some of my videos down. I was like, okay, the videos make the most views in the first 48 hours. I'll placate her, and I'll just kind of like whatever. But of course, we see that negotiating with that style of, goodwill does not help. Someone said, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The Sun owes Clayton a very big, very public apology. They ran with a story with zero supporting facts and did zero research. They took the word of gossip over proof. This was seedy, shady, and very dirty. Clayton has every right to sue them, and he absolutely should. I'm pretty sure some jobs are on the line over there. The Sun needs to change their name to The Shade. Go get him, Clayton. This was beyond wrong. I have no clue if Clayton has a case against the Sun, but it's very interesting that all of the other very smutty gossip magazines didn't cover this case. It was brought to Page 6, New York Post, Huffington. No one else took it. Someone said the Sun is the worst of the worst when it comes to the UK press. There's a whole city, Liverpool, that has boycotted the paper for decades because of its lies. Yeah, look, the fact, someone said poorly written, but it's still getting it out there and hopefully people look more. No, it's obviously deleted. Who cares how poorly written it was? And all because of this press release that was shared by Clayton and his lawyer. She has denied that a sonogram received from her and posted by her to the internet is her medical record. Again, she said it was hers and then she's saying it's not. So what they're showing here is that the medical records that were doctored, which again, you probably already know this. I hate to beat this like a dead horse. Is that the saying? Beat a dead horse? Whatever. Maybe that's not a good saying. I don't know. I hate to really continue to talk about this, but she admitted, according to this. Now, I wouldn't normally take somebody's portrayal of the truth as fact, but they have a video deposition. So if they're wrong here, then that'll be a whole different issue. But private medical records will not be shared publicly, they said. However, some medical records are already part of the public domain. What she claimed were her medical records to the media and shared the same on social media platforms. So what was interesting was, and again, this all comes from the, I'll pull it up, the ultrasound that we kind of found on behalf of the flock. Remember, the flock did some great work at scouring the internet for this ultrasound, which I'm going to get to you guys in a second here. But because they were able to find out that this ultrasound, came from a 6 or 7 year old video, it was very obvious proof that it was fake. Now, what I didn't realize is that the con went further than it just not being hers. On the letterhead right here, she indicated the type of ultrasound that it was. So if you look closely here, SMIL, that's a company. She admits to copying and pasting that and putting it on an ultrasound, which I'm sorry is the definition of fraud. Wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain. What's the personal gain? Well, it's her living the lie that she was ever pregnant. And look, gone are the days where we said, oh, we need to believe her until the facts come out. The facts have never come out. Nobody has ever defended her except for what appears to be her mother, who may or may not be in on it with her. And after months of being threatened with lawsuits and sued for harassment, I can't believe companies like The Sun are deleting articles. I'd love to know your thoughts. I appreciate everyone who supported us over here. We'll be live if there's any more information that comes out today. As you know, we're giving daily updates on our Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. You can go check that out at noon Central Time, where we continue to discuss how crazy and bizarre this story is. I mean, so she gets the Sun removed. What's next? Us Weekly? Next thing you know, there's going to be no articles sharing the injustice that took place. And when those articles go away, guess what? She's coming after people like me when I'm the last one holding it up. We can't let that happen. Enough is enough. And I appreciate all the support. We'll be back with more content right after this.